Yeah,
said it.
Ongwae, we kept saying here, and I think many people refuted Ongwae during the day. He was in ODM, but during the night, he was always with you.
You said it.
Yeah,
You said
we
it.
said it over and over. Yeah,
Yeah.
so thank
So
you.
can you agree with me, Mr. Arab? Such a people we should not, for a democracy like us, growing democracy. Such a people we should, like Mutua. You said Mutua. Mutua unajua walikuwa mtu wa njaa. That's why I can say that. Yeah, hata ngawa akipata millions I know this is the guy who ruined Machakos. I have property in Machakos and I live in Machakos when I'm in Nairobi. But you got what you got. But for you to bring him as an example, I just feel like it's betrayal. There are some other people who can do something better than him. Let's not just say because he came to your side, now you start kissing him. There are some people I really don't like who are in this government. People who are, they never even
Robert, can I counter you on something?
Yes.
Please, there is moderation, guys. Or do we go free for all? No,
I just wanted to bring something here because we were kind of sleepy. He wanted something we can chew when he's talking.
Okay. Thank you, Robert. Thank you. And then Kenyan with love, you want to add a rider there so that Kiptum can respond, or is something different? Kenya.
No, what I wanted to tell Robert is that
why don't you, Daniel, Kenya? Why don't you have Nani Kiptum respond to Robert? Then now you ride on that. Kiptum was asked a question of agreeing or not agreeing. Kiptum.
Just let him just say that we can hear what.
Yeah.
Well,
then Kenya will come in.
Actually, Robert, my next point was going to answer your question. But the issue of being a principled or not principled is a lifetime of education that you cannot change somebody in a day to be principled or not to be principled. And it is a topic that I cannot be able to talk about it right now. But allow me to say something. As Kenyans, I want us to agree on one thing. It's a fundamental fact that for you to succeed in anything, you have to work very hard. I was looking at the numbers. 2022 KCSE candidates were 820,000. So what does that mean? Assuming every child in Kenya went to school, and which is not possible, we can assume that every year 900,000 Kenyans turns 18 years old. And that brings to 4.5 million new voters in the year 2027. And according to Siasa Place, in 2022, there were about 8 million voters that were not captured. So if all the voters were captured, or if all the voters are captured, or they turn into register, 2027 we will have 34 million registered voters in Kenya. If you and me goes out there and persuade those young people to register the vote. Now, a voter ni kama a sea full of fish that you can go and fetch and you cannot exhaust. So those who turn up to come and vote, they were not 100% of the potential voters that we needed. So what does that mean? It needs somebody who works extra hard. So this brings me to the principles of laws and regulations and what have you, the IBC, the parliament, all of you. We have these laws as a guiding principle. It cannot be 100%. Just like we might have 100,000 voters, only 40% votes, or 40,000 will vote, and there we declare the winner. Well, the law says he has won and we will live with him or her for 5 years. So we have institutions. We do not control them. The petition of Cherera in parliament is from a voter. It is in an institution of parliament. So we do not have any other way of stopping it. But we have institutions. It can be challenged in court. It can be, we can do a counter petition. So the relativity of our laws, which does not speak to perfection, gives us an opportunity to play our part. And our part is the person who works hard. Now, I can now confidently say President Ruto worked hard and got the victory. Constitutionally, we do what we are doing perfectly. I like Roba, criticize him, build him. But at the end of the day, he will be there for 5 years and probably 10 years.
And as we criticize him,
you heard what I said, my friend. I said 2027, no Kikuyu, no Kalenjin, or Kenya is going to be 2 countries or 3 countries. Simba said.
Storm, the audio
which you are perfectly fine.
Audio for who? Audio for who?
For Arab.
Oh, my audio is munanisikia vizuri?
Yeah, because he's lying to us. He's lying. That's why the audio is not working. On a lighter note.
Okay,
maliza bana. Umeacha moto, maliza.
Roba is very perfect in declaring what will happen in 2027. And it is very, very welcome. So what I'm saying is, we have seen the numbers. Nimesema voters ni kama
usirudie Kiptum. Tumeshika yote. Yeah, maliza ndio mwingine aje ukue ribata.
So nimemaliza. So Roba.
Mwalimu. Thank you mwalimu. Karara nne. Haya.
Asante sana. Anyona.
Kiptum.
Kenyan is love.
Mwanisikia sasa? Kiptum, unajua there's something that is very good and nataka kuuliza swali. Na nimeuliza hii swali mara mingi na ulikuwa hapa nikiuliza. Na si mara ya kwanza kuuliza. Kiptum, unapenda Kenya yako? Na unapenda nyumbani? Vizuri kabisa, hiyo ni Kenya yako. Kitu ikafanyika mtu atake kuenda to war na country yako. Would you bear arms to protect your own country? You would? Okay. Asa Kiptum, let's just be realistic. And I've asked this question here na sijajibiwa bado. Kiptum, unasema Ruto alishinda?
Fair and square.
Hivyo. Endelea Martin.
Fair and square.
Fair and square.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Moderator, niachie tu dakika mbili tu. Kiptum, Ruto alishinda Rift Valley. Ukweli ama atudanganyi? Ukweli?
Yeah.
Na kashinda Central. Central pia alishinda Kiptum. Do you believe Ruto won?
Mato, accept an order as an answer.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him.
I want you to just say your statement because the results.
Okay, now. Okay, sir, Basi. Can we go on from there?
Yeah.
Where else did he win?
Chebukati declared
Venezuela.
Tuache siasa.
No, Venezuela.
Wacha kelele.
Hiyo kelele.
Tumekubali Rift Valley na tumekubali Central. Aya, niambie basi.
Nani alitangaza Rift Valley na Central?
Sasa unaona, kwa hivyo alitangazwa basi.
Na nani?
Hakushinda. Ni Chebukati
alitangaza mshindi pia. Na mshindi
lakini wewe nataka uniambie other than Central na Rift Valley, please tafadhali do me a favor. Tuendelee. Endelea, alishinda wapi pengine?
Do you have a problem accessing the results?
Just tell me where else he won.
The question is, the results are in the website of IBC. Do you have a problem finding them?
No, but just tell me.
I've
already given two.
Shida yako iko wapi?
Si uniambie hizo zingine.
Ujui kusoma ama una bundles ama nini?
No, shit.
I rest my case.
Hii shida yako ni namna gani?
Wewe Kiptum kama mwalimu wewe ujui kufunza. No, Kiptum,
the results are in IBC portal, man.
Excuse me, guys.
Point of order.
Excuse me, guys.
Point of order.
Order.
Point of order from Nani, Alex.
No, sio Alex, Tear Gas Wednesday, please.
Tear Gas Wednesday, boss.
Thank you for that order. Kiptum, you came here and you said, wewe ni mwalimu. You congratulated the teachers, the students who are doing class 6 and class 8. You didn't congratulate the form 4. So probably you are a primary school teacher, which is very okay. The most successful teachers. Now, wewe haujui kusoma kama mwalimu ama hujui kufunza? Kama sisi hatujui kusoma, wewe hujui kufunza?
Wewe unajua?
No, sasa wewe ulisema wewe ni mwalimu. We have not said our occupation here. You came here and masqueraded and told us wewe ni mwalimu, you congratulated. And we said thank you.
Aya, masquerading ni nini?
No, my friend, you don't even know that?
Mwalimu.
I rest my case.
Tell me so that I can compare with my dictionary. You see my dictionary?
You
are impossible. Let me leave it there. You are impossible.
Mwalimu, let me ask you a question. You never answered Kenyan question. Let me ask you a question. You came very clearly and you said something, then later on unajipomoa.
Na upunguze hasira Roba kabla hujaniambia.
No, mimi sina hasira na wewe. I cannot come to Ohio there and just get you out.
Okay.
That's how kisses talk. Unajua sisi hatuongeangi pole tunadanganya.
All right.
We speak with passion but we say the truth.
Hata nyinyi ni wazee, walimu, madaktari, mainjinia. Mbona mmefanya soko?
Yeah, no, okay. You said something here. Yeah, amesema kitu ambayo sometimes namshangaa. You said very clearly from your own mouth that the case in Parliament about the 4 is from a Fota, yeah?
Yeah.
I agree with you that.
Asante.
Then why is Ruto coming in and which makes me that he's the one who sent some of these people there? Why is he commenting about the case then? If he wanted to be a president, why is he coming and just accusing those people and saying some fun numbers about it? Don't you think it's wrong for him to do it?
Imeandikwa wapi asiseme kitu?
Aje?
Vile umesema.
What do you mean?
I mean what you say.
Roba, wait. Ngoja kidogo.
Ngoja nimwambie kitu moja.
Hii mwalimu.
Mwalimu.
Roba, what mwalimu is asking you. Anakufanyisha kazi ya kakasungura na kakabua.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Because he knows the man in a state house is empty as an empty suit. He knows that. That man never won direction.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know, but you should know.
I don't want to know.
Okay, no today, 2027, no Karatin, no Kikuyu. No in advance.
Okay. What? Moderator, can I request for 1 minute?
No, cool. Mwalimu tuliza kidogo mwalimu.
Look, do you entertain the tribal sentiments from Roba like that? Is that fair?
No, we are not entertaining tribal.
What do you
I'll
mean?
clarify.
What do you mean? That's
I'll
not
clarify something.
Waje nikwambie bwana. Waje nikwambie. 60 years the president of Kenya has been challenging all Kikuyu and you have been
nilikuwa
destroying the
nimekuomba
country.
uache makasiriko kidogo.
Hiyo ni ukweli bwana.
Let's put some things.
Moja alikuwa kwa miaka ngapi? Then from there Kibaki.
Unajua,
Kibaki,
let's have a have a sober, meaningful debate. You really have to cool down when you're coming to this show.
Down. Mwalimu, si wewe ndio mwalimu ulikuwa mnafunza watoto hapo kila saa. Hey, the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. The higher you go, the cooler it becomes.
Okay, now it's time to cool down. Now it's time to cool down.
Mwalimu, si wewe cool down, wewe mwalimu, si nyamaze kwanza.
Haya.
Wewe mwalimu, wewe nyamaza. Roba atakuli yake.
The thing says, I'm sick and tired of two communities being present in our country and they're shedding on it.
It's democracy, my friend.
Kubeba hiyo mafi.
Now you see.
What has happened to Roba? Amejitoa? Hey. Alex,
no way you won.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What happened to Roba?
No, what I'm just saying is, even somebody from Kisumu wants to be a president. Even somebody from Kisumu wants to be a president. Somebody from somewhere.
He's okay.
Lakini mambo ya kufanya uchinga kila saa nini na nini. Then from there you are just unasema kitu hapa tena unaanza kuniuliza swali. 2027, no Kalenjin, no Kikuyu. All Kenya will be divided.
Okay, Roba, we hear you. There is who? There is Karibu Bana, Bromita, welcome. Then Kuseo wants to say something. Mwalimu, wewe nitakuweka bench kidogo. Haya, Kuseo, you want to say something?
There is no Kuseo here. There is unscript. There is a non-script. Tafadhali.
Scripts that are unknown. Come on.
Stone, what I wanted to point out is related to Kiptum. Kiptum was saying that these people behind the scenes, that sijui wanafanya nini, wanapigana hi-fi, wanapigana hug, nini na nini, ni sawa tu. Lakini Martha Koome is the Chief Justice. You see, why we had the problems in 2007 is because people had lost confidence and no faith in the courts. Now, this is quickly cropping back, and if the whole Chief Justice can't see that, you see, as Roba is saying, 2027, this and that, chances are that when disagreements arise, nobody will go to court. She's going to let this country down if she continues on that trajectory, because nobody is going to be willing to go to court. As much as they can go and enjoy their one for the road behind the scenes, you can dare not do what she's doing in public. It is not right. And one of the reasons why Tear Gas Wednesday is here, I think the Wednesday tear gas, is because of people have losing faith in going to court to sort their problems. And that is why Wednesday might be a big changer. You see, she behaves, she's like, she's not fit to be Chief Justice, the way she's behaving. Maybe she does not understand the big picture that she needs to be playing. She is everything. As much as we say the president is the whatever symbol of unity, hey, the symbol of solutions and resolutions to disagreements, it's the Chief Justice. She had bear that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Unknown scripts. These scripts are unknown for true. Okay, good, you've clarified that. I want to bring in kila mtu ameongea. Can
I add something? I'm sorry. Can I add something? What Osea just
said?
No,
Roba.
No, I just want to add something. I want to add something.
Roba, no.
1 minute.
Robab was thrown out. Allow him. He was thrown out.
No, somebody muted Roba. Don't mute Roba. Roba, you are muted. Can you start again? Somebody muted.
I was just saying something Jose just said. You know, what's going on? Hata angalia even the way, you know, hii angalia mambo ya security, jamaa aliweka security. Then from there, this year, unajua, one tribe hapo unaangalia, hata mwenye nani alipata kazi, huyu mwenye alishindwa kazi hapo Meru County, huyu jamaa Murungi, si Murungi. Unajua hii Kenya bwana, tumeanza kurudi mambo ya Moi. Lazima tufanye to say no. Hii Western kabisa. Western, the way they are doing things sasa imekuwa Moi kabisa.
Okay, Robert. Thank you. Tiagas, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to redirect again the debate. I think we started from a nice place. Now I think the debate basically was, I don't think, at least we should touch on it, even if we have other, point of orders. President Ruto and his DP Kashago played down Raila Odinga mass action because it's coming on Wednesday. And that's why I'm called Tear Gas Wednesday. I'm just wondering what are our views? Are we ready for it? What is the point of view for Kenya Kwanza? Do they think we are joking? But at the same time, I want to tell Roba, I don't believe that if, and this is something probably people in Azimio may not like about me. If I find somebody in Kenya Kwanza who is able to be equitable in a way that he administers Kenya, to a point that niridhike kuwa, it's not about two tribes. If we get an effective person from the Kikuyu community or from the Kalenjin community who is not tribal, then I think Kenya can move on. But we can't just also go and take somebody because they are from a smaller community and we say, okay, let's take now a smaller community and the people become also ineffective. We must go beyond the politics of tribe. But however, as we go out of the politics of tribe, which is a little bit delicate because for a very long time we have gone through tribalism, but if we focus that the main man must come out of this community, yet we get the main man who is not a top-notch leader, who is also a nationalist, then I think we still remain in the same situation for a very long time. The issue is not about tribal. The issue is about a person that loves the country, somebody that is able to create jobs. If you look at the country like the USA, and I will say it because I think I've lived here longer than in my country, there is the northern and the southern. When you choose a northern the presidential candidate, the southern, you try to choose the southern. But I think at some point, some president went against the grain because they understood that the issue of job creation, the issue of, now when ideology kicks in, the issue of healthcare insurance, the issue of infrastructures, and then now you choose competent people. So, Roba, I agree with you. We are ailing with tribalism, but we can not only heal tribalism by saying this person cannot come from this community. We can also heal tribalism by saying if a person who is a Kikuyu can come in, but who does not see them as a Kikuyu, then they can show the country that, look, we can transverse ourselves beyond the politics of tribe. The problem we are having is that we think that to retain power, we must have our kingsmen. I don't know where that came from. That is my bitter thing that makes me feel bad. But you know what? I feel like if we get the right person who is, whichever tribe it is, but loves this country. Look, we support Raila, not because he's a Luo, because he has shown that he loves this country. I have never supported Raila because he's a Luo. I swear to you. I have never even thought that he's a Luo. I support him because, for me, I look at him as a person who has superseded the issues that we have seen that has been retrogressive in our politics. So that's my point of view. And I'm sorry to say that. If I hurt anybody, that is what I think.
I think you direct that thing to me, Stone Cake. Can I answer him? Because he
One moment. No,
he mentioned my name.
Give me a moment, please.
He mentioned my name.
Okay, answer. And an answer takes one less than a minute.
Yeah. Well, Alex, let me call it tears as Alex. It becomes very difficult. I'm with you, what you are just saying, and I agree with you. But there's one thing which makes me hungry, something which makes me uncomfortable. It's one thing. When a vice president of a country who comes from a particular community thinks everybody should be like his tribe, or everybody should be his tribe, that's what makes me mad. It's as if, that's where the problem is. And in fact, even to say the truth, I love Uhuru Kenyatta, and you know that. You guys, I support him. I supported him, and even the way I just say he's the best president ever what Kenya's ever had. Uhuru Kenyatta is a Kikuyu, and he will must be a Kikuyu. But when a man of the vice presidents, a vice president of Kenya, who thinks that Kenya should be all one tribe, the way he does things, everything is community, everything is community, everything is community, everything, even the president, how many times has the president gone to his community? You know what he tells me? He's also preparing after Ruto. He wants to be in because he knows that's his exchange. Karenjin Kikuyu. And I told them, in fact, 2027, we had this experiment for 60 years now. By 2027, it's going to be almost 65 years plus. The experiment has not worked. The experiment has failed. And that experiment, the head of that experiment is Kikuyu Karenjin. Okay? But I don't mean there are good people from Kikuyu and Karenjin who can do better. We know that. But at this point, it looks like now there's a man who's at the far front now, who is going to be the Kikuyu. If there's a Kikuyu to become a president, it's me. We know who's me. And that's what scares me.
1 minute, please.
Thank you, Robert. No, wait. I don't want this debate to be Mwalimu Roba. Okay? We have Mise, we have Kenyan there, we have Stone PK, Alex has spoken. Mwalimu, I'll put you on the bench first because personally, let me say something. Most of you here, I'm sure you've been teachers in one way or another. Kulikuwa and trained teachers and all that. And you would have been a very poor teacher if you started any program or any problem with the end. Where ulikuwa mwalimu useless. Okay? If you started a mathematical solution na kusema answer pale ni 60, then you work backward. Hiyo si hesabu. If you started climbing a tree from the top, you have umeanguka tu. Kenya, 60 years of independence has failed. And we always say, at 60, hata binadamu, if by now, if you are over 50 years, now everything you do, you fail. It means you have a problem right in the head. If you can't realize what you did 10 years ago, it didn't work. You keep on doing the same thing until you are 60 years old. Wewe ni mavi ya kuku, the way Kibaki used to say. Why am I saying this? Kenya, we have realized we are not able to hold elections. I know people like Kiptum and others will say, oh, we've been holding elections. I hear him saying we have law, we have constitution, we have all that. Truly speaking, whether you want to say because it's your Kalenjin man that is in power, or whether you say it's one of the perfect Kenyan, whichever way you want to look at it, look into yourself. It's only one election that was almost close to fair in this country. That you can dispute, You cannot say what you want, but just know you will be lying to yourself. All other elections are sham. So until Kenyans, before you even talk of tribe, sijui Kalenjin, sijui Mukikuyu, sijui Muluya, before you even begin looking at where Stone PK comes from, where Mwalimu Kiptum comes from, where Miche comes from, can we agree that the 6 of us here, or 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if we went for an election today, all of us contesting, for example, for to say a position of a senator, what a president, all of us are in one constituency called SK, for example, tuende kushindana, and we campaign properly for whatever period of time. Okay, do whatever you are doing, but you are doing it properly. Of course, bribing you will do, your control inakuwa ngumu, but you campaign, and then people are allowed to vote. Vizuri tu, hakuna kusikia kuna from 32A, 1B, 32 blah blah blah. It is well done. Hakuna kusikia ati Roba ameleta ndugu yake ndiye atakuwa returning agent, Stone PK ameleta wake. If we have that right, that the votes will be cast and the votes will be counted properly. Counting properly when Mwalimu is when 1 + 1 is 2, not when 1 + 1 is 6, or when you have 100, you remove 0 to remain with 10, and you say Stone PK got 10. The day we will get that right, it will not matter who the president is, because Kenyans, and if they know, voters anywhere in the world, they know who to vote for. And this is what most corrupt countries fear, that voters will get the right person. And to tell you, Kenya, from what I saw in this 2022, will take another 100 years before they get it right. So, Roba and my brothers, talking of 2027 is garbage. That's why, for us, we want a shortcut. We want, and we are advocating, dismantling of everything, including Sharia, including Constitution. Constitution we suspend because it's very good. Then we look for proper people to follow that Constitution. We dump everybody else. We dump kila kitu. But the books, we leave them as they are. Supreme Court is okay. By name, we leave it as it is. But we look for people who can fit in there. So what am I saying? I'm saying we dismantle human beings, suspend until we are able to decide how to get these people, and then we give them the offices. And that's why we are starting that from Wednesday. It is as simple as that, Kiptum. You may want to say yes or no. You are saying Ruto won square and this. You are lying as a teacher. You are lying to yourself. Kenyans know that. Everybody knows that. That's why Ruto is running up and down doing a lot of mess. And that's why I never engage in a debate of whether Ruto won or never won, because it is childish for me. In my own way, it is really nonsensical for me to debate whether Ruto won or didn't win, because it is obvious he never won. It is obvious Uhuru and Ruto in 2017 never won election. So I mean, Kenyans, tuache kuangalia hiyo ya winning and not winning. Tuangalie, when shall we ever be able to have an election that, like the Kriegler said, that can stand the test of time? Period. Simple as that. The day we get that right, from MCA to president, guys, Atukana will contest, Stone PK atasimama, atapita, Roba atapita from Kisi, anybody from Samburu atapita. Because what will Kenyans be looking at that time? Ideology, experience, and performance. Where you are a DO, what did you do? You are a teacher, Mr. Kiptum. How many students went to university if you are a secondary school teacher? How many did you steal exams for? How are your kids passing your subject? That is what the voters will scrutinize. So for me, the answer should be 6 years we have failed. It's a failed state. Failed state doesn't mean vita manini. Failed state is when you have Akina Venezuela coming in, being mentioned into your internal elections. When you have foreigners being mentioned into your servers, that give Kenyan, that is supposed to give Kenyans a real leader. You have failed totally. So tuache kuwaste time hapa tukisema iko sheria iko nini. In fact, I'm pushing on Azimio. We move very fast, dismantle everything. Let whoever ule atakufa akufe, ule atasurvive survive, but I'm praying that we do it mass movement, but very, very peacefully, and chase Ruto away completely. Don't harm him. Wacha aende Sugoi akaishi kwake. Aende akaishi kwa hiyo nyumba yake ya 2 billion. It's a shame. It's a shame. So Kenyans don't relent. Let's not even start saying he's a Kalenjin or anything. We want to get things right. Fukuza wote, Mkalenjini, Mkikuyu, Mjaluo, whoever is not performing, chase them away. Let's stay without whatever. Let's be disorderly for a while until we have our heads right. Okay? Many countries have gone through that and they have gathered. They are bearing. But for you guys to come and tell us we accept garbage, we accept daylight robbery, we accept bombers drama. What of if we had reacted? What of if Azimio decided to react on that day at the bombers? Would it be the way it was? And I wish we did that. So as Kenya Kwanza, don't come lie telling people at doing Mulishinda. Talk of something else. Maybe plead with the people to accept Ruto as it is. Kama vile Kiptum, you come from where you value cows very much. You find somebody has stolen your cow, it is in his boma. Ama unamwambia ndugu yangu ni sawa tuwe endelea kukamua hiyo ng'ombe ndio tukue brothers for peace. You don't do that. Unavamianga huyo mtu hata karibu na shoka na kila kitu for your cow to come back. So don't lie to us. Ruto is not the president. He is illegitimate. He's not a legit president. That's my take. Who wants to say something?
You know, you mentioned me a million times. Can I respond, please?
No. I'm using. I want you to come last. You'll be mentioned by everybody here so that you can. But I'll give you 3 minutes. But
Okay.
Nise, please. Mwalimu ngoja tu.
Thank you. I usually don't like coming here when Alex is here. Is my headache, my 5 a.m. headache.
Wakili mwana Mutembei yule.
Miss
No, but-
Canada. Oh man, you have a bad day up there. I'm sorry. The World Cup.
Yeah, but we tried. It was the first time for us to get there. But Stone PK, who's unknown scripts, Tear Gas Wednesday, Stone PK, and Kiptum. It's good to see you. I came here to encourage you, Kiptum. Here, you're in the den. Na hapa utakanyagwa, utachinjwa. Kwa hivyo shikilia tu. Mimi nimekuja kukutia moyo kwa sababu ama ndugu zetu hawa huwezi ukawezana nao. But I'm happy. I just came here. Nilikuwa nataka kuja kuchapa Ndeto. Ndeto, when you are talking to Mwalimu, Mwalimu is one of the most reputable person or personality we should respect. Why are you shouting to Mwalimu Ndeto na Mwalimu ndiye amekufunza? So I think we are all having a good debate. I think we are right within our confines, and I think there are things that Robust touched. I think there are things that we should start talking about. And I support Robert, but though even I support it, before I disagree with him, let me support him that Kenya has 42 tribes, and it's about time that presidency should
No,
start.
we have more than 42 tribes, please.
We have more than one tribe, so it's about time that presidency should stop revolving within a few tribes, and I think that is what will be called democracy, or that's when we'll be a democratic country. If at all, we encourage even people from small tribes to also rise up and come into positions of leadership, and especially top leadership. I think this is a conversation that we need to have. Truly, if you look at in terms of people who are investing in our economy, you will find that maybe a few tribes have injected a lot of money to boost our economy. And I don't see why we should have that happening when we cannot be given an opportunity to also come at the top and also give our opinions. But that is a debate for another day. So, Roba, I support you that in the future we need to have this conversation that other tribes, there is inclusion of other tribes, so that people from someone from Embu will also have hope that one day they will be the president of the Republic of Kenya, not because they have numbers, but because they come on table with on merit and an agenda to drive our economy or our country forward. Now, coming to the tear gas Wednesday, the agenda, I think narratives are very powerful. And you will forgive me, Roba and Alex and Kenya with Love, you will forgive me, but I want to look at a bigger picture. Narratives are very powerful. When you drive a narrative and repeat it again and again, it sounds good. But somehow, a narrative can work both to the positive and to the negative. And our country is the narrative that we have of Stone PK, of revolution, and Stone PK has confirmed here. Hang on.
Be careful when you mention Stone PK, you'll be utashikwa hapo nyuma yako wewe.
Yeah, Stone PK, I just wanted to join with another device, but because this one was acting up. But this narrative, Stone PK, is a very dangerous narrative for our country. If you are an investor in Kenya, you will understand that, yes, we truly have a challenge in our electoral system. We truly have a system that everyone is taking advantage of to enrich themselves. But again, we do also have another avenue that we need to push and change this kind of system, come up with legislation that does not leave openings for people to take advantage. Now, to me, I think, Roba, our people, like let's take for instance the Kisses, for example. The Kisses, if you look at most people who have come from Kisii, you'll find that they are not championing the interests of the Kisii people. They are championing individual interests. And that is why we are having problems in terms of getting allocated positions, because we don't have the power of bargaining when it comes to the national cake. Because if you realize, for example, take for instance Ongwae. Ongwae was ODM, yet he was fighting. I think it was I don't remember if it's Machogu or not Machogu, but he was fighting someone else who was in ODM. You're in the same house, but because you don't agree, you still fight, and that works to your.
I mean, you don't know Simbarati. I mean, lawyer. I mean,
that's okay. That's okay. But
okay.
You get my point. You get my point. So
okay, Simbarati.
Thank you. Most obliged for the correction. So I think I think we need to.
Point of order. Our team is respectable. Know your people and you are giving examples. Let them be accurate.
I am most guided. Thank you. So what I'm insisting is that we should, as a community, we should also start looking at ourselves, reflect on how our politics are, whether it's our politics are politics of divisiveness or they are politics of unit of purpose. And that's what we are lacking. Now, in terms of Ruto,
Stop mistreating people. Stone, can I come in? There's something you just said. That's a
Stone,
lie.
Stone
That's
PK.
a lie.
Simu yangu
Roba,
karibu
ngoja
iishe.
kidogo.
Unaweza kunisaidia
Roba-
dakika mbili tu alafu niende? 2 minutes.
That's a
Okay.
lie.
My phone is almost dying.
Please pause.
Mr.
Mr.
just said a lie. We cannot allow him to do that.
Let's have Kiptum, then Roba, I'll have back to Mr. Kiptum.
Yeah, asante sana, Stone. I will just take 2 minutes and then I will be listening from the other side. When I get out, don't say that we jamaa metoroka. I like listening to you guys. And I'm very committed to make Mutembei TV grow and be objective. And one day, when I saw Mutembei in a meeting, which the president was trying to say how the tech industry is growing, I was so happy.
That was a Google meeting, not a president meeting, my friend. Be very candid. Thank you.
Yeah, guided. So what I'm saying is, yeah, you know, where we are right now, we are at 5G. YouTube and everything, we got here through 4G. Now we are at 5G. So we expect in the nearest future, technology will really give us so many jobs, especially what is happening in Kenya right now. Let me want to say this. I was going to say extra situations calls for extra responses. Extraordinary situations calls for extraordinary responses. Let me say this. First president of Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta, was the president of about, and I'm very deliberate in using approximation, 9 million people. President Moi was president of 21 million people and above. The last time I attended a census during President Kibaki, we were 31 million people and above. During President Uhuru, we were talking about 40 million, and right now, Ruto presidency will take us to 60 million people. So, and every president had their greatest successes and greatest and failures, of course, because when President Jomo was president, he had very unique challenges, including bringing the 9-mile strip to be part of Kenya and the shift towards and what have you. President Moi, in his term, Kenya was an island of peace in the midst of a very chaotic region. But we had 844 system that produced you and me, that every president, including Uhuru Kenyatta and everybody else, and former Ambassador Macharia, saying that we are very competitive as Kenyans whenever we go abroad to work. And of course, we had President Uhuru, and now we have President Ruto. Personally, I do not doubt the patriotism of William Ruto as president and his commitment and his great plan of Kenya Kwanza to take Kenya to the next level. So what I want to say is...
Kiptum. Is Ruto patriotic of our country?
100%.
I mean, Kenya.
Let me finish.
Wait.
When I finish, you will say it. And then, what I'm trying to say is, President Ruto has a great plan for Kenya because he loves Kenya. He dreams Kenya, and he wants the best for this country. And we have a role to play. We have our civility to play as Kenyans. We do not have to be desperate and resolve to demonstration and what have you, because there is an opportunity, there's an avenue of doing things as a civilized country, because this is our country. As I was telling you, the voters of 2027 will be 34 million. And the young people will give us way. Whenever there is an election, the one goal of an election is the will of the people. And the will of the people can be decided by even one vote. Look at the US Senate right now, 50-50. Only one person can make a difference. And then as a Democrat, as a patriot, even if you miss by 0.001, you accept to fight another day because we are good sportsmen and women. And we have so much to do for ourselves and for our families, which is more than just going to the streets. So I really want to encourage you to speak positive and optimism about Kenya and being hopeless and stop being hopeless. Thank you.
Asante Mwalimu. Roba?
Yes.
Roba and then Kenya. Sorry, Roba.
Let me just have a comment, and from there, you gave me a chance. Mr. Mwalimu, I wish the way you just said it, that's how things are. But when you are a president, and now the worst president ever, when he takes office, the crime has just gone very high. People are being tortured. People are being kidnapped. I mean, I know a situation where some people are just like running from Nairobi because of the state of the country. Then you can tell me what you want to say. If you are a president and you want to unite a people, you don't go in a foreign country and call those ones who never won, who lost the election to you as devils. And that's where I'm on to start to you. That one I would never accept. I would never accept it. And Mise, I know he's somewhere listening to the phone. There's something he said about people from Kisii because of our unity, and that's why maybe we are not getting throats on the government. I want to tell him this. You cannot be punished. You cannot be punished because of being a democratic community. Like the Kambas and other people, let me remind people, the most democratic people in Kenya, not because I come from there, is from Kisii County and Nyamira. Do you know why? Look at the elections of Kenya since the Malbat system started. Look at the elections, and you tell me which community has as many parties as they can in every election, other than the people from Kisii. Does it mean that because of that, we get punished because we don't have unity? There is what? There's Chubiri from Kisii. There's Kenya Kwanza from Kisii. There is the part of Karos from Kisii, Wiper. Every party you talk of, yeah, you cannot be punished because of that. And that's why I tell Mr. Mise, going forward, let's not talk about like because somebody has a following or some communities, they have this what I call tribal readers. Those are the people to be rewarded. No. What we want is, as long as somebody's capable to do something from a certain community, let them get a job. And that's the way I see it. Let them get a job. But at the same time, I'm sick and tired. I'm sick of and tired what comes from the vice president's mouth. He's a wrong man at the wrong time, doing the wrong thing at the wrong place in the wrong country. We cannot allow him to continue what he's doing right now. We cannot. We cannot. That one, I would not accept it as an individual. Okay, we will not accept it. The reason why I'm bringing 2027, let me assume there's no rider. Then give me another excuse again of why a Kikuyu or a Kalenjin should be a president. If rider is not there. The problem has been rider. Okay, let's say rider is not there. Give me a reason why. Yeah, because when you do an experiment, like I said before, and the experiment has failed for almost 70 years, you have to go and you have to do it in a different way. And that's why I just feel like we are not being served for 60 years. Let's have something else. But either what I'm seeing here and what I'm hearing is just like they don't care. They are just preparing, and the Gacha is also preparing even take over after Ruto. He wants to also be a president, a future president. And that's why I think when it comes that time, before that, It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. But let me leave it there and give some other people to speak. Thank you.
Stone PK, can I finish?
you,
Because
Robert.
I was in the middle of
Yes, Mr.
talking.
Finish, and then
Mister,
as well.
Mister, let me ask for 30 seconds, please, because Kiptum want to go. Please, I beg you, Mister.
No problem. No problem.
Mister, let me tell you something that is very true. And I want you to look, not Mister, Kiptum, I want you to look at me. When you look at Ruto, you look at him as your kingsman. And I want to give...
No.
Wait. There is value in listening, and there is civilization in listening. As a teacher, you must know that listening is part of the 3 components of learning: copying, repetition, and reconditioning. You may think that you are not teachers. We taught before you even came into a classroom. So listen to us. You learn through the peers of your elders. I have grown white hair on my private parts, so you must listen to me. So let's talk this. Now, let me say something that is very serious. When you people sometimes talk some things, you think that we don't listen. We have analyzed individuals, we have analyzed groups and communities. Let me go to something called communities. The reason why sometimes we as a people can look and start to compare 2 groups between the Kalenjins and the Kikuyus and ask ourselves if that is the 2 people that we are given to vote for. We decide to vote for Kikuyus is because in Kisi, this is what we say. And anybody who listens to Kisi, I will say it in Kisi, then I will translate. Omo manyi gose omo nyamato igago kame ng'ombe paka maira soka. Lakini kenyambi ere gago kame ng'ombe otigere mori yakoraki yagonka. What does that mean? In the history of Kenya, when you say that Ruto is patriotic, you are lying to us. All parastatos in Kenya were destroyed when they had the Kalenjin people in the helm of it. And I'm not being tribal. I try to come in between and talk about what Kenya has gone through in the history. You need to ask yourself, why is it that when some communities hold on to some parastato, they go down? Some of them, they still hold on, even if there is corruption. Let me tell you, you need to come out and understand the fear that we have is not because we hate communities. It's because the so-called job opportunities become very vital to the existence of some societies. For 24 years, in Luo, you call it Miremble, the only begotten son. You are employed in posta, you are employed as policemen, you are employed everywhere, but other people are not employed. It's okay. But this is what we are saying. Kenya must integrate. You see, when you have had the privilege of having a president as from coming from your community, you may not understand what other communities are going through. It may not seem that everybody is gaining from it. But at the same time, you may not know how other communities are wanting. The other time we are having a debate of bottom-up, the person who came up with the bottom-up ideology came out and said Kiambu does not need bottom-up. Why? Because whatever that is going through in Kiambu is that it's a middle-class economy. You compare Kiambu and Turkana, you will totally understand what we are talking about. the equal distribution of everything can make us as a community start talking in different way. So when you speak like Ruto is this and this, that's not what we look at. Given an opportunity in 2013, who did he employ? That gives us fears. Not that we dislike him. In 2022, given the fact that he was given an opportunity as a president, no, not as a deputy president, because before we could say it's propaganda. What did he do? The CS, the PS, what did he do? Your community has more people. Why do you think you're more privileged than us? It makes us sick and tired. So when you come here and talk like that, not because we want to go on a tribal way, but some point you get yourself asking yourself, is that the way a country should go? So don't come here thinking that we don't feel painful when that happens. Kwani hakuna mkisia hata moja, hata huyu mise ambaye ana dodge raindrops, rafiki yangu kabisa, ambaye anaweza kuwa hata CS. It can't be like that bana. Hata kama yeye ni look, hata kama yeye ni mbaya, we can support him. Mutembei here, we can say, we can put all our differences out and say, okay, if it's mise, let him be. Kwani hakuna other community, hakuna mkuri hata moja. You'd give us 15 Kalenjins. We must stop that nonsense. When you come here, you must know that Kenya belongs to all of us. When you say somebody is patriotic and starts to choose every 15 people from 30 people from 2 communities, that's nonsense, my friend. Stop it.
Kwaheri.
Haya,
Thank
Kongoi
you for
Muzing.
listening to me.
Kiptum.
Hii maisha ni kujipanga.
Kiptum.
Ni sawa, wachaneni na Arab nani
Mise,
Arab.
sikia ni kujipanga.
Sasa ni kujipanga. Wednesday muje tujipange vizuri. Let me bring in Mato. You wanted, I mean, Kenya.
No. Let me finish. What's wrong with you, Stone PK?
Oh, you've not finished. Okay, finish quickly.
I think you need to take the wise counseling of Alex. I hope that the people of Azimio will take those words by heart. The value of listening and civilization in listening. So I think this is very important.
And the white hair.
That I distance myself, because the position of the white hair is is private. So I distance myself from that. So but let me say this. I totally see the frustration of Alex. It makes a lot of sense. And I totally see everything and frustration of everyone. The truth is, I first want to acknowledge one thing, and what Alex says makes a lot of sense. But your direction, Stone PK, is what I don't agree with. I think these are very legitimate issues that Alex raises. There is an history on it, and it is something that we can relate with. The truth is, when William Ruto was given in 2013 the opportunity, he took almost half of the slots that he was given and appointed the East tribe. Uhuru Kenyatta tried to balance, and that was not right. I think it is this country, like I said, is a country of many tribes. Inclusion is key of every country, and that, to me, I want to fully support that kind of fight, that kind of struggle, that we must have inclusion and a balance in inclusion, because we do have many tribes in Kenya, and every tribe goes to vote during the election period time, and they should be reflected and represented by the allocation of slots and appointments. So that I fully agree with you. But there's one thing though I don't agree with you actually. I think what I don't agree with you is simply Stone PK, and I think you confirmed that by saying that you want to use a shortcut to power, using a shortcut to power.
No, don't proceed. Not shortcut to power. Shortcut to dismantling evil. Ukiona nyoka usianze kubembeleza, piga kichwa mara moja, then you are safe. That's not to power. I didn't say we want power. We want to dismantle and reassemble. Thank you.
And I believe that you want to reassemble someone you believe and support. Is that correct?
No, you don't believe that. That's wrong. We want to dismantle and get things right. Whether it's Mise, whether it's Ruto, whoever it is, but properly elected. Thank you.
Perfect. Now, if that is your narrative, that revolution, why didn't that revolution come in the previous government? Because the narrative is the same, right? 2013, the narrative has been the same. So for me, I think what I'm only asking is that we can change through legislation. Maybe we should start talking to our leaders, because our leaders are compromised. It is through our leaders that we get compromised. Like you saw the committee of the Chereras, the JLAC, you saw that the chairman was inclined to a certain part. Why don't we start talking to our representatives in parliament? Because they are the ones who compromise us, because they have a responsibility of representing us with integrity. When they are compromised, it means they don't deliver and fulfill our desire of being represented. So that is, don't you think we also need to talk to our leaders, our elected leaders, right? So to me, that's what I'm seeing that we need to address, because before we address Ruto, we need to put systems in place, because either way, even when we want to go to dismantle and reassemble, we are reassembling people to the very same system that has the same loopholes, that this very same people can take advantage, and we get ourselves to the same problem that you think you are in now. So if it is the Constitution, why don't we do an amendment of that Constitution, the areas that we feel that are privileging the president to not to dispense his obligation as needed, right? So to me, that's where I'm saying that we need to start through legislation first, and then after that we can have a leader who is coming in a system that will function as envisioned. Why is it so difficult? And we know that Raila Amolo Odinga has this power, has this ability. He's been in the trenches. He has propelled change. Why can't we go this direction? If it's IBC, why do we want to why do we want to oust the president and then to go back and reform IBC or bring reforms to IBC, yet we have the power and avenue to reform that IBC now before we bring in the new person? That's something that I have tried to understand, that I don't know. I don't understand. So now the narratives that you guys are driving is a narrative, is a form of power that actually can mobilize and connect people, and that's what you guys are doing. And this narrative, it keeps going on. It will either work to our advantage or disadvantage. I mean, all of you know that Libya had the same challenges. People pushed for revolution. People pushed for change. And as soon as they pushed out Muammar Gaddafi, they have a problem. They have a problem. Up to now, Libya has never been the same. For me, I see an opportunity where we can bring and propel, push for change in the systems and places that we want to have. And then once we reassemble our leaders will be reading from the script that we envision our country to take, the direction that our country needs to take. Because right now, are we ready for those changes that we want to bring? Who is that ready? Is the constitution fertile for anyone who is coming in, not to take advantage of us again? To me, that's what I'm not seeing. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing our leaders, members of parliament, senators, MCAs who are greedy, who are going to yield to anyone who is giving them the highest bidder. Why can't we deal with these people first?
Okay.
Then when we are done with this, then we can bring in. And let me address something here quickly. There is a gentleman called Mwana Waingo. He said
when you start addressing those people, they will waste your time.
No, I'm not. It's not something bad. I think he's saying that he sent emails and we have not responded. We will respond to your email, Mwana Waingo. We have a volume of emails, and we have a lot of work. So we are responding to emails, and we will get to you. Once we get to you, your inquiry will be addressed. So there's not a reason why you be be agitated that we have not responded to your email. We will respond to your email. Rest assured.
Thank you, Mr. for that. Oh, I had not seen that message from. One ago. Thank you for responding. And it's good, at least sometimes, to even come clean, like the way Mwanango has come. Even side inaitwaje kuinbox Mr. direct, so that such issues can be handled. Thank you, Mr. for your submission. But before I bring in anybody else, I would want to clarify something, Mr. You are refusing to see. And Kumbe, no wonder I was told by somebody that one thing that God regrets, can you imagine God regretting, is vile aliunda mwanadamu. Because one of the things that God is really halali akisumbuliwa, it's about mwanadamu. All the other things are good. They are good to go. Binadamu ni ngumu. Because binadamu unamuonyesha njia hataki kuangalia. Unamwambia fungua macho anafunga. Sasa unamwambia funga ndiye anafungua. Have you ever tried to tell somebody to enter your bedroom? Unamwambia bro, ingia bedroom, usiende kulia, piga kushoto. Hapo juu ndio utapata hiyo kitu. Usi chini ni juu. Anaenda anapiga opposite. Ulimwambia asiende kushoto, anaenda kushoto. So binadamu are the ones that are still insisting. Kenyans are insisting that kuna system. We agree. There is a system. No one has a problem with the constitution, Mise. No one has a problem with our the books, the what we call the systems. But systems are run and managed by human beings. And the biggest problem we have is the human beings we have. The ones you are saying. You are saying we talk to our leaders. How do you talk to your MP who are tumbocrat? Who Ruto knows very well atanunua kila mtu because of the billions he stole from this economy. The money he started stealing those years since when we could fund a level of billions. Ruto was stealing to invest in that. So he is able to buy everybody, anybody, knowing that watu ni watu wa njaa. So when you tell us that, oh, we should change the system, no. What we want to change is the people. And yes, we have good people. We know we have some people somewhere, but we want whatever it takes to have at least 1 or 2, 3 people who can set that agenda. That agenda cannot be set by Ruto. It cannot. Ruto cannot set any agenda of cleaning. Sasa, Ruto is cleaning the Supreme Court. Ruto is cleaning all the judiciary. Ruto is cleaning the parliament. Is that what we call organization? Who causes an accident when driving a vehicle? Is it the license or the licensee? Who crashes the plane? Is it the papers of a pilot or the pilot? Who teaches who teaches? Who mwalimu ametoka hapo? Is it the degree paper he has that goes to stand in a class and teach students, or is it a human being? Neither. We are not now looking at the constitution. It's just a book. It's a book somewhere in the shelf gathering dust. Yes. The parliament, look at it. The parliament, we have the most beautiful, the best on earth. But we put idiots there. You expect laws to be made. Look at the Senate, one of the best. Although hatuwezi kufikia parliament kama ya Tanzania, but we have the best. Very comfortable for our MPs. But who do we have there? Malaya, Watumbo. And you are telling us to use those people to change the system? Who do we have when it goes to even the executive? Let me finish.
Question. You could please ask Mwana Waingo to tell me what is a question. I just appeal for me. Could you ask him to give me his full name so that I can respond to his email?
You see, Mise.
Mwana Waingo.
No, hold on. If people use different names here and they want to, Mise, that is not your work. Leave them alone. Please be a gentleman. If people use their names in whichever way and they come here and they say they are Mwana Ingo, don't even respond to them. I've seen it several times. I didn't even bother it, because if hapa wanaitwa Mwana Waingo in a different way, they call themselves in a different way, why bother yourself? That's pettiness. Don't lower yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, let them.
No, that's okay.
Thank you. Yeah, don't even.
Alex, understand.
Thank you.
Actually, that is giving me a lot of work.
I do understand.
Even if you wanted to respond now.
Yeah, but it's okay. Maybe because he has raised the issue, I get what you guys are saying. Maybe because he has raised he wants to be addressed. It's okay. But I don't have it. I'm looking at the emails and I don't have Mwana Waingo. So let him say what his name is. I will respond. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Mise, that is pettiness and we respect you. Don't worry about that.
Now, okay, thank you. You guys have distracted me. So, concluding by saying, please, let us not waste time again trying to say there are people to discuss things with. Hakuna serikali ya kudiscuss anything. They are not listening. Matter is in court. Your president ana tweet anasema achana na terrorists, sijui walifanya. They are already prosecuted, executed and buried. Is that the person you want to tell us at a guide this? The only solution is, Mise, as much as we would have loved to go on a round table to discuss with the looters, with the thieves, people who stole from us. I don't know how people discuss with such people. And it is because we did this previously that we set a precedent. We should never have allowed this. If Raila felt he was aggrieved, he should never ever have even gone into this nonsense of shaking hands. It's sometimes very good to go on a hard line so that you correct the mistake. You don't compromise to correct a mistake such grievous mistakes that this country is going through. Okay, wacha business, international business wataenda, wacha waende. Walikuwa wapi Rwanda wakichinjana? Who are these international whatever? Then lastly, Mise, go and read about Libya vizuri, please. Just read. what happened to Libya. Libyans never wanted Gaddafi to go. The few who were used by others, I don't want to mention them, the few tomb of people who thought that they would have an opportunity to eat and enrich themselves, then they sold the soul of the leader who had made Libya to be one of the best countries in the world. Just because, people are being told, oh, Libyans don't travel. Unataka wa travel waende kufanya nini kama kwao iko kila kitu? Ikiwa unaambiwa ukioa bibi unapewa dola sijui $30,000, ukizaa mtoto unalipwa, ukizaa unalipwa, ukimaliza shule unalipwa, utaenda kwingine kufanya nini? You go out to be slaves. Gaddafi never wanted slaves from his people. He was proud, and yes, I loved Gaddafi, and I felt so bad when I saw him die like a dog. Yeah, you need to be high-headedness to provide for your people, and that's what we do for our families. Somebody touches your child or your wife, unaua. Alex, you'll bear me witness. Mtu akuja hapo kuguza familia yako, unatoa nguo zote, wacha hivyo unasema sasa, you go naked to finish that person. That is what a president should do. Defend the people. Kenyans would be proud to live and work in Kenya. 60 years, it's an old economy where all of us would be prosperous. But we have been pushed away because of compromising with the thieves. Compromise na wezi. And that is why we want to have one man who has sacrificed for that. Not because of him as a person. Someone who can, hata akitukurosisha tu ribanini kidogo, hii mto ya ushenzi kidogo tu, we will hold each other hands and go. What we want is Raila to top all this, remove all the rubbish, clean the way, then we will push the rest. Get rid of Ruto and his people. Watu wa mang'ombe waende wakachunge ng'ombe. And then we get somebody who will set a precedent, who will make sure that elections are held properly, votes are counted, and those who win are pronounced winners. That when you are campaigning, you don't care that somebody else is being favored. That is what we are looking forward to. And that's why Wednesday has to happen. And the preceding Wednesdays. Hatutaki negotiation. Kabisa, no negotiations. Wakisema to negotiate, now we will all reject that word. And we don't care about Azimio MPs. If they want to go to KK, they can stay there. In fact, it will be good readers. The fewer we are, the better. We want trusted people. We don't want people who think, oh, you have to work with the government. What an idiot of a county chief thinking that he has to work with the president in our new constitutional dispensation, when you have all the powers as a county, anaitangwa nini, the boss or the CEO of the county. You have all the budget, it's in the law and all that. Then you want to go and kulamba hizo za Ruto. It's nonsense. Really, really idiotic. In fact, Kenyans should recall such people. Umepewa county mzima na budget usaidie wananchi wake, unaenda hapo kusema mtukufu rais. Yeah? In fact, Raila has become too soft. He should have chased some of them out of that meeting he had. I don't know why he encouraged them. Nafikiria amekuwa too sympathetic, ama amewekewa mshetani amewekewa ile pepo mbaya hiyo na nabii wa uongo. Yeah? So it is so annoying. We want those who believe in fairness through election, nothing else. Step ya kwanza is credible election. Kidra said that. I don't know why mize watu ambao tumesoma tunazunguka huko tukienda huko. Period. Next.
Yeah, you see, I think my priest, who I love so much, Danny Darius, has attacked Mise. I don't think if there is anybody who doesn't like Mise in this group, it's me. But at the same time, you see, professionally, Mise agreed to be interviewed twice by our weekend crew, and that was Makiadi and our sister Julia. And Mise was just trying to be benevolent to us. And in professional world, I receive so many emails in a week. Some of them I'm not able to answer. Some of them I can be able to answer. Some of them I postponed, not because I want to. It's because of the nature of some of people's work. I don't know. I don't know, but I know Mise personally. Mise is not a person. Once he commits into something, can ignore. Please, hii maneno ya ku blackmail Mise, wachana nayo. Mise ameuliza, mtu ukijiita mwana wa Ingo, email yako inajiita something else. And then Danny Darius, who is a priest, comes out and says, let Mise respond to that. I mean, that's being petty. Wewe utajuaje mtu anajiita hapa jina ingine, hii ingine anajiita ingine? I mean, let's be serious. Let's stop that. This is politics, that the other one is professional. Let's separate that. Hata kama spendi you Mise, hata simpendi kabisa, nasemanga ana dodge raindrops. Lakini sasa you guys respect people. Kama ni maneno ya kusema, ana respond towards what he was interviewed on, and that was professional. It was not politics. My friend, respect and question him differently. Tuachane hiyo ingine. Let's not attack him. Amesema he wants to respond, but tufanye nini? Tumwambie ni nani huyo anaitwa hivyo. Pole sana Mise, hapo leo nimekutetea mbili kwangu.
Nashukuru sana, nashukuru sana. Ukiendelea hivi naona kwamba I might join the revolution with this persuasiveness. So continue with that kind of persuasiveness.
No, the revolution is not about who everything. The revolution is about equity, and I know you are one of the people who love equity. Wachana hii maneno ingine bana. Wachana maneno ya Duke ambaye smile. You always smile to my sister Julia.
Okay, sawa. Mise,
who is Duke?
Well, you sorry, Mise.
Who is Duke? Is Duke
I'll
the guy
who
who comes
is.
here and talks about economy?
We'll talk about that later. So it's okay, Mise. Those who are waiting for the emails, you take you respond accordingly. Let's not make it a real subject because they have written directly there. I'm sure you will respond. So isikue issue sana, I think.
Yeah, and we have responded to so many emails. Actually. Yeah, we've responded to so many emails, but again, in due course, we'll get to everybody.
You know what I've come to believe in life? I said here before a few minutes ago that God regrets, amechokeshwa na binadamu, ni vile hawezi kutumaliza pamoja.
Kwani sasa nimekuwa picha.
We'll never appreciate anything. Unakuja wewe bana. Wewe unachukua hata dakika 10 ukitaka. I just want to say those who are complaining about anything, Mise volunteered to do this. Binadamu huwezi kuwatoshelesha. They don't appreciate. So don't bother. Aya, Kenya with love.
Mise, you know, mimi na wewe unajua kule tunapitaniaga. Unajua tunagonganaga, kugongana, tunabomoana. But I've come to admire you. Alex, Danny Darius, I think, as a priest, me as a Catholic, I think Danny nimemwangalia siku mingi sana. Danny Darius is always a good person to go to. He's a good man. He's a priest, and saa zingine kama siwezi ingia hapa hivi naendanga kujificha huko kwa nini, kwa comment section. He is one of the person, a very nice human being, and I wish to one day meet him. So I think we're overdoing it when you talk about, I mean, siku nakutumbaa sana. Danny Darius alisema, mimi unajua Mise, with all the fight that I've had with you in here, and you know it. And with hiyo time yote tumedebate hapa hivi. One of the biggest thing is that at some point I still go back to what I've been asking you, and I've asked a lot of people, where did Ruto get his votes? But then, because no one has been able to answer me those questions, or anyone that has been able to answer that question, I want us to go back and be the patriotic that we are. And just because before I go to patriotism, mise wacha kuangalia comment section, utaumia dadi. Comment section huko wanachezaga kama wao, hata sisi nagonganga stone nikiwa huko, hata na kugonga nikiwa huko chini comment section. When ukiwa kwa panel, wachana na comment section kama huwezi handle hiyo, wachana nayo, angalia baadaye, later on. Huko utaumwa. I learned that a long time ago. I don't look. Napataga huko nimeitwa majina, nimetusiwa, nimeambiwa matoko hivi.
Aya, achana nao pia una concentrate nao sana. Forget them. Come back.
Yeah, nilikuwa nataka tu kuambia mise, hiyo angaliaga baadaye.
Yeah. So thank you very much for that advice. I take that advice, but this is our prospective client, and we take our clients very serious. And if there is something that we are not doing right, I mean, we take that chance to get advice from our client, and then we change. But I do appreciate and understand. And by the way, if I couldn't handle anything difficult, I couldn't be coming to this to this debate, because every day nikikujanga hapa mnanichapanga tu. I'm the only one mnachapanga, but I enjoy having this discussion. Don't think at the end of this discussion I don't learn. We learn, and I see persistence in when you're dealing with people. I mean, I'm a leader in very many other community organizations, and I do understand dealing with people is very difficult, and you cannot have a uniformed people. But what we are discussing here is the prosperity of our workers, to give our contribution to the forum platform, and make sure they are whether someone is going to implement or not implement. We are here to speak, and those people can pick sense out of nonsense, and they decide whichever way they want to go. So, but there's something I wanted to, Stone PK, I wanted to request, please. When people are of a different of opinion, and it's in line with what Alex said, listening, there's value in listening, and there's value value in there's civilization in listening. And as well as what you have said, that in the comment section, people express themselves differently. There are people who don't like you, there are people who hate you, not because you are not sensible or you're not speaking sense, but because they just have to hate. It is their nature. So in that context, I would really request that you don't block people who speak of a different opinion. Like, I think I saw one gentleman by Tom Timrek was blocked by one of us. I think just let him express himself. And over a period of time, he will come to understand there are certain values Alex stands for that I admire. Dato, there are things that you speak that I admire. And for that reason, I think it's good to give them a chance to express themselves. Out of what they say, we pick sense. Let us also give others, the people of Azimio, the people of UDA, a chance to express themselves. Then it makes it a dialogue. Otherwise, if we speak only people of UDA, people of Azimio alone, the supporters of Azimio alone, we will be having monologue amongst ourselves. So a dialogue is when you have two people of divergent opinions. And I think it would be nice that you guys try to accommodate others the same way you have accommodated myself, and the same way you have accommodated Black and Mr. Ruto, who are always supporting the current government agenda. So that's what I'm advocating. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. I don't know. I didn't know somebody was blocked, but I normally know that people get blocked when they become insulting and that naked direct insult, whether you are from Azimio or wherever you are from. We don't encourage insulting language. So probably I don't know what whoever Tom had done for him to be blocked.
I don't think he did anything, actually. There are a lot of people who insult me here, but you don't block them. So that's a selective way of addressing insults. So
okay,
I think if we want civility and sobriety in our discussions, it's good to listen to both people like Barnes, Nyaga, Duke Moses. And you haven't told me who is this Duke Moses, because is this Duke Moses the one who comes to this forum during
I think he's the one.
Mr. I'm going to block you myself already right now, because it was my time to talk, and now you've forgotten that it was my time that you've taken.
Thank you. I apologize.
Okay, back to Kenya with love.
Regret my actions, Ndeto. I apologize and regret my actions.
Yaani umesahau mimi ndo ilikuwa time yangu yo, umepiga story huko mpaka no wonder mnablokiwa watu kama wewe Saitan, because you don't know when to stop. Unaendelea tu, unaenda umeruka, sasa umeanza kutetea watu, and it's my own time that you're taking, na nimekuachia. Tulia daddy.
I apologize unreservedly.
No, it's okay. You don't have to apologize anything. Mister, we love you. When you come over here, yes, we hit you because we want you to change and turn and understand where our Kenya is going. This Kenya, we've been here talking for a long time. And we've spoken for a long time. Mister, I've been here saying, if Ruto was a good president, I would not have a problem with him. The problem is he's not a good president. He's a cartel. He's a mafia. And I don't know who you guys are waiting to tell you guys that, because Jacob Juma told you guys himself before he died. The things that are happening today, you wanted 100 days. The things that are happening today should not even happen within 100 days. Less than 100 days. GMOs, cases closed of people that we knew they killed someone. Magistrates being put in there. What do you call this? People mugging each other, wanting to go persecute a cop that helped people, even kids, go to school, and stopped mugging in Kenya. All of a sudden, it looks like a gameplay. Mister, and I know you're coming through. For you, I appreciate you for always being here. Umesema tu kugonga. But mister, you gotta love your country, man. Love it. The things that are happening in that country, you should never, ever accept. Education loans gone. Mahindi. Imagine, Stone, let me not address Miss on this one. Let me address you, Stone PK. You know, there was a time when Raila Odinga was saying that we need to do bypasses. Na watu wakaambua mumejenga kwa mali barabara inafaa kupita. And people looked at Raila so bad. But my friend, today if you pass by Nairobi, mtu beba your cousin atakwambia tupitie hapa bypass. The overpass, you know, let's start at 2020 nini Thika highway. When Kibaki was doing that, hakuna mtu alikuwa, lakini leo ndio kitu mnajua kuisimamia. Bagadhi. And today when you look at overpasses, and I'm telling you, mutakuja kukumbuka kijana inaitwa Uhuru. Hata hiyo, na nimekuwa nikisema hapa, hata hiyo standard gauge railway, yes, tuligongwa, ni kweli. Because why tuligongwa? Kwa nini? Because ile kitu watu wakina Ruto, na nitarudi nitasema, the biashara people, the biashara political people that Ruto mafia runs, they used to go, which was something very easy, Stone PK. A standard gauge railway, it means hii yetu ni ndogo hivi, just move, songesha tu kidogo hivi ikuwe standard. Instead of doing that, they went and started buying lands, so that they can sell those lands to the government. Money making instead of public service. And until Miss Wacha Nikugonge, forgive me, you okay? Until these people, the Miss type, and Miss is coming through, until these people become patriotic, tutakuwa tukiumwa every single time, because mtu akikuletea pesa unaenda kumchagua. Na by the way, huyu hakuna mtu alichagua, na nimeulizia swali mara mingi isipokuwa Central na nini na Rift Valley, na hakuna mtu ashenijibu. Kila mtu anza kusmile, because we know he was not chosen. It's just that we are tired of fighting. We don't want to fight anymore. Tumechoka na kina Baby Pendo. Hatukuwa tunataka. Lakini, we will not be led by an illegitimate president. The legitimacy will come. And this one will not come from Baba. This one will come from the Mwananchi. Because Stone, like I said, that jana, we are more united now than we've ever been united in Kenya. Because we have Kikuyus, we have the Kalenjins, wale hatujai kuwa nao hizo nini zote, wako hapa. Hata ukiangalia ngapa hivi wako hapa against their own. And it's because what? It's not their own. It's the Kenya that we love. It's the Kenya that is ours. And we are going to fight it. Mr. Join the club. We will fight this country, and we will be led well. Woke you are Canada, because you live in a country that is well led. Na mama mboga huko nyumbani ama mtu mwingine huko nyumbani, even your brother or sister, wewe unamchekelea tu, unadhani hiyo country iko messed up, no, Ruto sijui nini, anaibia watu. Na unaona. Stone, I said I'm not going to do politics this week. Hata next week sifanyi politics. I am going to do patriotic part of it. Kenyans, love your country. Love your country. And again, I say, Love your country. Stop thinking of if you are a Kalenjin, you are a Kamba, or whatever you are. Love your country. And don't patronize us, especially if you live in a different country and you're not even patriotic to your own country. It looks dumb and it looks stupid to patronize people while you're not even patriotic to your own self-country. Najua nimeongea matope, lakini I think I've said something. Don't patronize people when you're not even in your own country and you're not even patriotic to your own country. Tupende nchi yetu na tuache ujinga. Ukiona nchi yako, sister yako ananyang'anywa wig uko Ngara, na mpaka mapolisi wameambiwa waende wakae, waliambiwa waende wakae wapi, na by the president wakae huko, sijui huko nini, Thika Road huko, waliambiwa waende wakae mahali. You know, I mean, they're supposed to fight that whole thing. Remember why we went to Somalia? It was two. Watu wawili walishikwa tu na watu wa nini na Al-Shabaab. 2 tourists. We went into Somalia. But what did we do in Somalia? We went in there and it all changed to where we started. The military started kuuza charcoal. Through who? Duale. Where is Duale now? The minister of what? Okay. Sasa tumenda Congo. What are we going to do there? Wash like it used to be in Kilimani? We're even getting 128 billion from Saudi. Saudi gani? Yenye waliuziwa nini? Sheikh wao waliuziwa gold fake kutoka Kilimani. Wash. Stupid kind of way of bringing up a government. I never used to agree with Stone PK, but nowadays I do. He sounds sometimes like he's advocating for violence, but maybe I need to go there too. Hiyo tear gas, eri tuikujie na tukuje na nini, tukuje na mayai. Because where we are and our country and the generations to come is dependent with us. Kama ushisikia mise kitu inaitangwa, watu usema wahenga walisema. Wahenga wa hiyo siku, sasa wahenga wa leo ni sisi. The people that made a change in our countries. Today is the time. And Mise, you need to stand to be counted. And anyone that listens to us, hata watu wenye kwa comment section, stand to be counted that you made a change for your own country. Na tuache ujinga. Kama mtu ni mkora, like Stone usema. Tuache ujinga bana. Na tusichezeane. Stone nimefunga.
Asante Kenyan with love. Wacha nikafungue. Umekafunga, mimi nikafungua. Umesema tuache ujinga. Lakini nayo baadhi ujinga ndio iko mob. Kama kuna Wakenya wanasema Ruto alishinda kura, wallahi billahi. Akia Mungu hiyo kitu inanishangaza sana. Na sisemi ati juu ati si Raila ndio president. Mimi I always say hata kuku tu kuku ikapigiwa kura na Wakenya, zihesabiwe hiyo jogoo ikuwe ndio imeshinda. Chicken mi nitaipigia salute. Hata kondoo, Wakenya wakiamua ni kondoo itakuwa president, kura zihesabiwe vile Kriegler alisema. Count those votes and they are pronounced properly. I'll be more than happy because it will have been Kenyans have decided, but not when people do outright staggering, and then you have people coming. Like there is somebody who was alleging here that so and so worked very hard. In fact, that phrase is misused in our country, Kenya, badly. That so and so works very hard. Such and such a group works very hard. Who doesn't work very hard? Nobody sits in the streets and things are given for free. Hata maskini yule anaweka mkono hivi kwa sababu hana la kufanya. He works very hard or she works very hard. She wakes up in the morning, anaenda pale Kenicom because labda ako disabled na hajiwezi. Anakaa hapo, anachomwa na mvua, anachomwa na jua, anapigwa na nini, na kulazimishi umpatie. He works hard or she works hard. So when people say so and so is working hard, so and so worked hard, very, very hard to get the votes. Who did not work hard to get the votes? You don't need to work hard to get the votes. You just need to go around campaigning and telling people the truth. And if they are convinced you are the best, they'll vote for you. And if they vote for you, then the votes should be counted properly. And then it's announced properly. Not people performing gymnastics and then claim, oh, you know, you guys didn't have an agent. We had an agent, blah, blah, blah. That nonsense is what we want to dismantle. Kabisa. And it will let it cost us, whatever it will cost us. Wale waoga waende kwao Maushago wakakae kwa makerenge yao. Okay? Wale wanasikia ni waoga, hiyo siku muhame Nairobi, mrudi kwenye kule you think you are safe. Then you come back after we clear uchafu. Tukishafagia uchafu ile imewekwa huko kwetu mpaka kwa parliament. Yeah? KK has made Kenya to be very disrespected. Now, people laugh at us. You cannot even talk about democracy. But we worked very hard. We got the vote. We won. Yeah, you didn't win. You didn't win. Some of us were very close to some of these people who are now senators, MPs, and all that. And we know what happened. MCAs. We know what happened. It was terrible, terrible mass rigging and bribery. You know. And what did we get? We have thugs. So when people are crying, and the good thing is that that's how hustler ndio wamekuwa sasa ndio watakuwa forefront kwa hiyo Wednesday tear gas Wednesday. They are ready, watakuwa hapo mbele. Sasa tayari washapindua kadi, wamepindua mbao. Manake njaa haijui muazimio ama Kenya kwisha. Okay? So I would want to say, Mato, yes, you are calling for patriotism, but patriotism kwa nchi gani? There's no country. Why don't you preach people to recover, repossess the country, claim your country, then you fight for it. Otherwise, when you say patriotic, unakuwa patriotic ufanye nini? Yeah? Just accept the country has been stolen. Let's get together, reclaim it, and then we now start doing patriotic evangelization of the Kenya we want, and we get serious with that. Wale hawataki wanaweza enda Uganda. Those who don't want to have free and fair election can go to Uganda. Wakae huko na nani. Hata si KK nini zao ni yellow. They will fit in very well from 7. Wakiingia na hizo wamevaa hizo yellow za nini, and I think that is where Ruto got the idea of those colors from. They can do very well there. Let us remain with the country we want. Ikishindikana sana, then we go the other way. Ile watu walikuwa wamesema tugawane, kila watu wakae kwa county yao, zile county zitakubali kuungana, they form a country. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with that, and I don't see why people get jittery when we say tugawane. Mato, unafaidika na nini Kenya ikiitwa Kenya ati imeshikana, the 42 counties, what do you benefit from? Nothing. So you are as good as in your own county, and then you trade with the county that is next to you, or ile itajisikia kudeal na wewe, and we shall have harmony. Then tunaacha counties na huko Rift Valley zikipigania uongozi, sisi tuko na pande yetu huku, wengine pande yao huko. I think that's the best that this country will ever have done. Let's forget about calling it the way it was grown. In fact, that should be the next agenda. If whatever what we want to do fails, there is no business of being united. It doesn't make sense. It has never worked. We have never achieved nothing. Look at the population that has left school and they have no job. Of what benefit is it being a Kenya country? Sincerely speaking. Afadhali tukae county yetu. Every county, I'm sure, can absorb their own people with the money. And if they get serious, kila state, I mean, every county can be able to absorb their own whatever. Yeah, because you get industrialized, you get to do, kama ni kilimo, you do it very well. Okay, you upgrade your institutions. Unafanya bilateral agreements with other counties in places like Europe, states, and all that. Because the more corrupt-free you will be, the more investors you will attract. Our investors kwani wanakujanga wapi? Wanakuja tu Nairobi. They don't come to Nairobi. Kwanza sasa Macha ikiachwa peke yake, hiyo ndio itakuwa county number 1. No? So basically for me, nataka Raila na wale wengine, Ruto aking'ang'ana ambaye akae na Rift Valley yake na wale watamuunga, those who believe in him waende na yeye, which is good. Na wale hawamsikii wakae. Let's not fight. Don't fight to be united. Don't. Hiyo achana nayo. Let's not fight to be united. Because united without integrity, united with others, lying to others, wengine wanajifichia wengine na kudanganyana, kuchochana, hakuna haja. This deceit should end. It should end and it should stop. How can you have a graduate tamaking for 6 years? What kind of a country is that? Mtu amaliza university yako 6 years nje. Wengine unasikia sijui. I mean, it is sad. It is really sad. Yeah, they killed all the institutions that used to absorb graduates. All government institutions are dying. Yes.
Stone. Kuna nani Brian Richard hapa hivi ananiambia ati sijui ati Ukambani wako na Bill Gates.
Ndio mna manufacture nini? Vaccine. Kamute. Urali ushezi.
Stone PK.
Yes, nani? Nisa.
Let me tell you something. That number one, you are not patriotic. Okay?
I'm not. Let me tell you the truth. And I don't want to be. To which country?
Yeah. So let me tell you something. In the country where you live, listen, in the country where you live, right? Your words today would mean, listen carefully, would mean that actually go read, I think it's 18 code 2385. Okay, anyone advocating of the United States government, go read. Anyone who is advocating to overthrow the government, you know, like you are of advocating. Number one, that is not patriotism. Number two, you actually, that's why I'm telling you, Kenya is a very good country. In the country where you live, where freedom of expression is, if you advocate to overthrow the government, the same way you people come here every day and speak of that, it is an indictable offense. And
by who?
By the government. By the
Which
government of the United States.
Why?
I'm telling you.
We are not in. Hello,
I'm telling you, if you were saying the same words about the United States government, saying that we should
I'm not
go
saying about the United. Yes, I'm not talking. I'm not a United States citizen.
That is why I'm telling you. That is why I'm telling you.
Yes.
That's why I'm telling you that here we have the freedom to express ourselves.
Even hope.
You and me and every other person. But overthrowing government is a serious crime, serious crime. So let us be
Where?
as much
Where?
as much.
Mise, let me ask you a question.
Acha hiyo.
Mise,
Acha hiyo.